The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
And good afternoon, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Kay, and it's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored by, we have the C3 Group as well as Merlin Law Group and Balance Claims. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring our videos. So let's get right into our weather headlines. We're going to have a quiet day today. It's pretty strange. It's April and we are not expecting anything in terms of severe weather today, but as we get into tomorrow, those severe weather chances will return, and we do see a chance for hail in areas such as the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as here in Oklahoma City. We'll talk about that as well. And after tomorrow, things are going to begin to be a bit more active. So we'll talk about what is going on for the next few days as well. So getting into the storm report totals, this should say through yesterday, that is, what was yesterday, the 22nd. We saw 0 tornadoes, we saw 8 large hail reports, and 75 wind reports. So quite busy in terms of wind. We did see a little bit of hail. And then since January 1st, we got up to now 226 tornadoes still, 1,169 hail reports, and a little over 1,400 wind reports. And if we compare that to last year, yeah, we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. We'll catch up. So let's get into our current conditions. Again, it should be a quiet day in terms of severe weather, but there are other things going on. We do have some rain and even some snow in the panhandle of Nebraska. Yes, snow. And we have some more snow in Montana as well. And we have some precipitation in the northeast. And taking a look at our temperatures, it's a pretty cool day out there. We have 54 in Kansas City, 43 in Fort Wayne. If you really want to go to a warm spot in the U.S., what a surprise. We got 84 in Miami, but otherwise it's a pretty cool day across most of the United States, as well as it's really, really dry. We have a 23-degree dew point in Atlanta, 30-degree dew point in Wichita, only a 33-degree dew point in Dallas. Some higher dew points are down in southern Texas, as well as a 62-degree dew point in Miami. But this will be changing as we get into the next 24 hours. But first, let's get into our hail forecast. Like I said, we're not expecting anything in terms of severe weather. That does include hail, and we're not expecting any severe winds either. But like I said, things are going to be changing. This is pretty much right now in terms of dew point, very dry across the United States. The only areas that are seeing some higher dew points are, again, in Florida and southern Texas. But As we get into tomorrow, we can see that moisture is going to be returning to the southern part of the United States. So areas such as Oklahoma City, down to Dallas, down to Houston. This is the area that we're going to be watching for severe weather tomorrow with that moisture return. As we get into Saturday, the moisture will be moving on to the east, to the Gulf Coast. So areas such as Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, down to Florida. It's going to be a little bit sticky there for you guys. And into Sunday, with that system that we'll be dealing with for the next few days, the moisture will start to drop off. Florida, you'll once again be the hot spot for that moisture, but you can already see that moisture trying to creep back up on Sunday. Monday, we really start to ramp up once again with moisture. And into Tuesday, this is another day that we'll be watching for here in Oklahoma City, down south to Dallas, for the potential for another system to bring that severe weather. So stay tuned. It's going to be a pretty active pattern that we're going to be getting in starting tomorrow. So, and then Wednesday, that moisture will be moving on to the east. I think again, next Wednesday, there could be more severe weather in the Gulf Coast states. And Thursday, that'll be moving on to the eastern states. So we're going to be busy here at the Hail Palace. So this is for tomorrow, kind of giving an idea of where the potential for severe hail will be going on. This is tomorrow at noon, Oklahoma City down to Dallas. The potential for severe hail will be present, and you can really see some larger hail will be possible from dinner time right along there. Is going to be a dry line. I need to mention there will be storms, but at this time it could be isolated in nature in terms of hail producers. It's going to be kind of a complicated forecast, but the potential is there. If any storms do develop, they're going to be very large hail producers. And then as we get on into the evening, you can see, very large hail possible from Oklahoma City down south to Dallas if we can get storms to fire along that dry line. And then as we get on into the evening, the larger hail is still going to be around, but as the storms do develop and move on to the east, I think it'll become more of a wind threat. This is our cape. This is the energy that storms need to basically survive. They feed on the energy. Pretty decent amount of cape again from Oklahoma City down south to Dallas. So if we do get those storms to develop, the energy is going to be there, and large hail will be possible. So cross your fingers, we can get some storms around from Oklahoma City, Dallas area along that dry line. Still going to be around in terms of cape from 5 to 7, starts to ramp up just west of Dallas, and then we get into later on in the evening, it starts to deteriorate a little bit, and it moves on to the east-southeast as we get into later on in the evening with the storms moving on to the east as well. And that does include eastern Texas, Louisiana, down into Mississippi, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama. So again, it's going to be a busy day. So let's take a look at tomorrow's radar. This is tomorrow at 10 a.m., just some scattered showers and maybe a few storms around. The action, though, will begin around 1 p.m., so it's going to be an afternoon event. It looks like some storms will develop around 1 p.m. in the Dallas metro area, so we got to really keep an eye around noon to 1 p.m. for the Dallas region. We go to 5 p.m. Those storms will continue to develop, move on to the east, and then as we go on into later in the evening, more storms will develop. Eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, as far north as southern Arkansas will have even more development in parts of Oklahoma, so it could be, it's going to be an all-day kind of thing, just watching these areas for multiple rounds of storms. This activity, though, will continue to move on to the east as we get into the later evening hours. It should be more of a wind event by then for Mississippi and northern Louisiana, Arkansas, even New Orleans. You can see some severe weather as well. And here in Oklahoma City, you can see some more development for us at 11 p.m. By this time, Dallas should be okay. And again, this is just one model run. A lot of things can change. And like I said, it's going to be isolated in nature, you guys. So it only takes one. But yeah, as we get into the overnight hours, those storms will again continue to move on to the east. Definitely more of a windy event as we get when those storms reach Jackson to Birmingham, and as we get near daybreak, maybe as far east as Atlanta. So it's going to be kind of a complicated forecast, you guys. Like I said, it only takes one. This is only one model run. A lot of things can change from here until tomorrow. Those chances are there. There's a lot of instability. So if a storm does go up, it's going to be a potentially big hail maker. So speaking of large hail, getting into tomorrow's forecast, yeah, we're expecting the possibility for very large hail from Oklahoma City down south to Dallas. The chances, we're only keeping it at moderate because of the question of how many storms will be developing along that dry line. But like I said, if they do develop, they're going to be big hail makers. So keep an eye on to the sky and here at Hail Trace for Oklahoma City down south to Dallas, maybe as far south as San Antonio. And then Shreveport, Jackson, you have a chance to see some hail too, but I think it's going to be more of a wind threat for you guys. Houston, you could see some hail as well. But we're going to zoom in to Oklahoma City and Dallas. Again, up to baseball size hail is possible for Dallas. I think a little bit smaller hail is possible, up to tennis ball size hail in Oklahoma City. And then moving on to the south, maybe up to golf ball size hail. Lower chance though in Houston and in San Antonio. And moving on to the east, where I think it should become more of a wind threat by then. But up to $half size hail is still possible for Jackson and Shreveport. So yeah, it's going to be possibly a pretty busy day here for tomorrow. And in terms of wind, I think up to 70-mile-per-hour gusts are possible. As we fine-tune the forecast, there could be some areas that could get higher gusts, but for now we'll say 70 for a large, pretty much the same area for the hail, but Jackson, Shreveport, Houston, San Antonio, all the way up to Oklahoma City, you have a pretty decent chance, moderate chance to see up to 70-mile-per-hour gusts with any storms that do develop tomorrow afternoon. After that, Saturday, that system will move on to the east. The Gulf Coast states, so Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, that does include Atlanta, and the Carolinas and the northern part of Florida, you can see a chance for severe weather beginning early Saturday morning, and that'll continue out through the day. And then on Sunday, there will be a little bit of a lingering chance as that system starts to move off the coast from the eastern Carolinas down into southern Florida. So this is for Dallas. This is for the next few days. Today it's going to be fine. Tomorrow, like I said, up to baseball size hail is possible, a moderate chance. It's a complicated forecast. Like I said, storm development is going to happen, but the question is how many storms will fire off. But like if they do happen, large hail is likely. And then after that, we will clear out, and you guys should be good after tomorrow clears out. So that is all I have for you today. It's going to be a busy next few days and possibly the next week. You don't want to miss anything. Make sure you follow us here on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you have any questions, concerns, or if you just want to say hi, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com, where we have more information about the products that we offer. We have bios about all of us. So yeah, feel free to contact us to get to know a little bit more about what we do here at Hail Trace. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.